Have you been thinking of converting a large format sublimation printer? If you have, let me tell you a little bit about the Epson 8550. I've actually had my Epson 8550 since September of 2024, but I'm really posting the video in it just because life got so crazy. But I converted my Epson 8550 since September, so I have like almost 6 months with it, and I thought it was the perfect timing to tell you how I've been loving it, how it's been going, any troubles I've had, and just overall a really good review on the Epson 8550. I do have the Sawgrass SG1000, and that's an actual sublimation printer that also prints 13 by 19.
I completely forgot to mention that I'll be creating an entirely separate video to compare my Epson 8550, which is a converted sublimation printer, to my SG1000, which is an actual sublimation printer. So if you're considering a large format sublimation printer, make sure to subscribe, as I will be posting a separate video to compare the two printers.
Okay, let me walk you through converting the Epson 8550 into a sublimation printer. First, let's finish unboxing the printer and removing all of the blue tape. Just remember, we're not using the ink that was included in the box. To convert this printer into a sublimation printer, we're going to be using Hippo sublimation ink. This is the same brand I used for my Epson 2803, and it worked great, so I figured I would stick with Hippo sublimation ink. The Hippo ink that I used for my Epson 2803 is different than this one though. They are two different listings, so just be careful and make sure you're purchasing the correct ink. I'll go ahead and I'll link the Hippo ink that is compatible with the Epson 8550 in the description. The difference between the 8550 and the 2803 is that the Epson 8550 has 6 ink tanks. So we have the 4 usuals, which is the black ink, cyan, magenta, and yellow, but the 8550 has an additional 2 ink tanks and will be needing photo black and gray. For this conversion, we're going to power on the printer and then follow the instructions on the screen. We'll start by downloading the Epson Smart Panel app to help guide us through the installation process. This makes it super easy and walks you through every step. It even includes pictures so you can make sure you're doing it right. So once you're ready to add in the ink, open the top of the printer by unlocking the 2 side buttons. Then open the black compartment, the one that looks like this, and then lift the little blue lids on each color tank. Be very careful and make sure you're using the correct ink color on the correct ink tank. This is super important because if you mix up the colors, there's really no easy fix. And now we'll just go ahead and load all our ink. Since this is going to take a while, let me tell you a little bit about printer maintenance. Printer maintenance is super important, especially when it comes to converted printers. The reason being that these printers are not meant to hold sublimation ink, and sublimation ink is a little harsher than regular ink. So in order to keep your colors looking super vibrant, I recommend printing at least once a week, even if you don't need to print anything. I like to print either a purge sheet or a popular design that I can use later on. I do have a separate video going over printer maintenance, so I'll go ahead and I'll link that for you. Once you're done filling all the ink colors, you officially have a sublimation printer! Oh my goodness, I am so excited for you, and I cannot wait to see all the big sublimation projects you're going to be making. So I chose the 8550 for the print size. So our Epson 8550 can print on our standard 8.5 by 11 like our 2803, but it can also print on 11 by 17 inch paper and my absolute favorite, the 13 by 19 inch paper.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and turn on our Epson 8550, that way I can show you how it prints. So the 13 by 19 paper goes here on the back, so we're just going to open it and pull out the paper tray. So I am going to grab my paper and just load it onto the tray. Anytime that our printer detects paper, it's going to ask us to confirm the settings. So this is still A3, which is 13 by 19. And for paper type, I always select premium matte. So that's good to go. We'll just send our design to print. Okay, so I sent our design to print. And here is our 12-inch sublimation print. Look at how good that looks. So this design is meant to be distressed, so that's why we have the white dots. I don't want you guys thinking that it printed wrong or anything.
Let's go ahead and turn on our heat press. I'm gonna actually place this on the back of the t-shirt. So let's go ahead and start prepping that. So this, okay, that looks super good. So I actually want to add a cute little strawberry in the front. So let's go ahead and print that while we wait for our heat press to heat up. I wanted a cute little image on the pocket, so I printed these cute little strawberries, and these are 3.5. I'm only going to use one, but again, because we can use our sublimation transfers later on, I'll just save this sheet for whenever I need another cute strawberry on my t-shirt. Our heat press is finally ready, so we are just going to add our transfer, and I'll grab our top Teflon sheet. We will just go ahead and press our design. Okay. Oh, that looks so good. Isn't the t-shirt we just made just the absolute cutest? I love my 85/50 for the larger print size, and just overall I've had an amazing experience with it. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comment section and I'll be sure to answer them. Thank you guys so much for keeping up with our sublimation beginner series, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe as we will continue on the sublimation beginner series. See you in the next one.